Hey, it's Biddy Penny, and I'm here today with a Hemi Gouache jelly set, and I am going to um, set mine up. This is brand new, straight out of the box, and I'm going to show you some things of how you use it. So I selected the one that comes with a palette. It comes with 3 brushes and the well to keep the brushes in. I'm finding for myself that I use my products more when they're accessible. And for me, I like palettes. I had some Arteza gouache, but I never use them because they're like in a bag in my paint drawer tucked away. And so this palette is something I'm gonna have to keep good care of, like keep it flat and keep it in a special place, so I feel like I'll pull it out more often. I purchased this on Amazon, and I was thinking that it was supposed to come with 2 whites, but there's only one. I don't know. All right, so I didn't follow the little sticker they had on the back of the palette. I put these in my own order. This is some sticky stuff, y'all. My fingers like really wanted to stick together. That's what I was showing you there. Okay, so I went dark to light and kept my color families somewhat together, and that's how I wanted to organize my palette. I thought that this would lay on top, but you can see it does not, and I wanted to show you that. I like the lid. You do need to press it down and make sure it clicks and seals all around. But I do really like this palette a lot. It's heavy. There's a lot to this. So I'm going to bring in some watercolor paper, and I'm going to swatch this out. Now, jelly or gouache in general isn't going to look different on paper than it does in the well. Like what you see is what you get, which is very different than watercolor or something like alcohol markers. The thing is I wanted to check the consistency of these. I wanted to, paint with them and feel them out, each individual color. I've always found that different colors play differently. Like they have a different consistency, and it has to do with pigments, I'm sure. The mixture of pigment and medium, things like that. So I wanted to play with each color. Obviously, I wasn't going to color in the white one, so I just make a box for it and label it white. But I really like these. And what I'm going to use this color swatch for is like matching my pattern paper and stuff to it. And that way I'm not holding my beautiful pattern paper over a whole plate of jelly gouache where it could fall and get dirty. So instead I can hold it over my palette or my swatches and match my papers to my swatch sheet. I did even go ahead and laminate it because, in case you didn't know, gouache is like the brainchild of acrylic and watercolor. So it is a water-based pigment, and it can move on you. So you can use water, you can water it down and use it like a watercolor. But then it layers like acrylic. And what's beautiful about it is that it's so opaque that you can put light colors on top of dark colors. You do need to make sure that the base is dry unless you're wanting to blend. I'm going to show you a little bit on a couple of card fronts coming up, but right now I'm kind of showing you as far as blending it out. You can blend it a little on the paper between the colors, but really the way you blend with gouache is with white. So, and I'm also going to show you here just a little bit that you could add like the brightest yellow to the deepest red, no problem at all. Okay, so I'm just kind of working with it now. I'm using the residual paint that was left on these little lids I had peeled off, and just trying to get some bigger strokes and see. Definitely this shows your paint strokes, which is, I think, a plus. If you don't want to see paint strokes at all, then I think watercolor would be the best medium to use. But I like to see the brush strokes depending on the project that I'm working on. If you're doing a big background, I would probably suggest, using watercolor or something like that, and then using gouache for the detail, unless you want a really strokey background. Okay, so this is part 1 of the videos. I'm going to release a second part where I'm going to show you what I do with these card fronts that I painted up. I didn't have any real plans. I was really just using basic geometric shapes. And again, just wanting to get into this palette a little bit deeper, to feel it out and see how it does. So I have some ideas about where I want to go in card making, and I have to figure them out. So, it's not something where I'm following what someone else does. I'm trying to rework some concepts and make it unique and make it my own. And in order to do that, it takes a lot of experimentation. So I hope you'll follow along with me on this. I hope it works out. If not, I'll revert back to all the usual tactics of making a card, right? I'm just feeling like changing things up and, finding a distinctive process and style of my own, which for me is important. I really like these. I also really like the Arteza ones. I haven't played with them in a while, but I liked those too. I think price-wise they were the same, but the Arteza comes in a tube. I think it was the same amount of colors, but I need to look and see. I'll do it before this video is over. I want to say that the tubes have less paint in them. I want to say that these are a better deal. You get a palette, brushes, you get this nice container, 24 colors. They're 30 milliliters in each little jelly cup. And I got this on Amazon Prime for $29. I believe that's a better deal than the Arteza. I'll double check that. And I could do a side by side later if y'all are interested in that. Just leave me some comments down below. So the things I'm showing you right now are not my ideas as far as like where I want to go in card making. I'm just trying to lay some color down in some interesting ways and play. Okay, so you all know I like to smear some paint across my canvas with a debit or card, not a debit card, that's a gift card. Either way, this is a technique y'all seen me do over and over. It's just something I like to do. And so I wanted to test it with these, and I love it so much. I mean, all of this is still wet and you're still getting this rich contrast. You're getting the true colors. You can tell I put orange, red, and blue down. So it's just beautiful. It glides so effortlessly across. It's so nice. All right, so I wanted to paint up a couple of images for you. Now, bear in mind, this is a coloring book page from the Lawn Fawn coloring book. And so it's not a watercolor page, but I wanted to show you two different ways. One, using it almost like a thick watercolor, so I had a good amount of water with that cup that I painted. And the next one, I'm using more of a dry brush technique, and I'm going to paint the gouache on in a thicker consistency. I just wanted to show you guys the difference in this. It really is a fun medium. Maybe you already have these and haven't bridged them into your card making yet. I encourage you to do that. Okay, so what I'm going to show you is that with the brightest and the lightest color here, which is that pink, I'm going to bring that in and I'm going to add a few little dots. Now, obviously you would want the base of the blue to be a little bit more dry if you were going in just to add detail. And then you could get, you know, beautiful pink, light pink detail on top of the blue. Now, here's another thing. Because my paint is so wet, I'm going to show you, if you try to overwork this, you'll pull up the paint, the base, because it is, once you apply like water or something to it, it lifts again. So then it becomes a blending thing. So what I did is I chose to use the pink almost as a white, if you will, for blending a lighter color on the rim of that coffee mug. And I just keep working it and I blend it out. So, you know, this is a benefit to using gouache, actually, is being able to blend like this. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Check out part 2. I'm going to use all these card bases to make some cards. All right, have a good day. Talk to you later. Bye.